Hey everyone, it's been a while since I've done a pickup video, but I'm back again with my manga pickups for June and July. I know it kind of comes as a little late, seeming that it's like already more than a week into August, but you know, a lot of things are going on and I'm kind of gonna start school next week. So I've been trying to get everything in order, so I haven't really been able to do much during this end of summer. So without further ado, enough about that. Further ado, here I go. First of all, let's start with some Bleach. I got more Bleach, volume 21, 23, 26, 27. This is during the Arrancar arc, the beginning of it, that is, and which is kind of like, in my opinion, the beginning of the end in quality. I actually recently finished reading it about a week ago, and I gotta say it was probably one of the most anticlimactic final arcs and head-scratching endings I've ever read in my life. I just don't know how it could have been possible. It literally makes Fairy Tail look like a saint manga compared to this. But I still really enjoyed the journey though. The beginning half of it was still pretty enjoyable. Just the latter half, the later half was just bad. But I'm still gonna keep getting it because I still enjoyed it. Next is Dragon Ball Volume 2, and I have not gotten this in quite a long time. If you see my channel, I haven't even shown it whatsoever, besides the very first video I made, which was showing my manga collection when it started. So I just decided I need some more Dragon Ball on my shelf, and I managed to find this because I don't know, in the areas in the nearby area that have these kind of books, they don't really have Dragon Ball much. So as soon as I saw this, I really wanted to get it. Love Dragon Ball. This is like the best thing out of all the series. The very first one. Next is Fairy Tail. More Fairy Tail. Yeah. Kind of have a love-hate relationship with this thing. Volume 2, 3, and 4. I have Volume 1, so these seemed necessary to get. I kind of want to start getting them in order, because mine are kind of scattered right now. This is during that Dark Guild that they fought with the Wind Magic guy. Thought that was interesting. Too bad that's one of the only interesting things that kind of happens in the whole series. Next is this, which I pre-ordered off of Amazon, Food Wars Volume 1. I've been wanting to get my hand on Food Wars Volume 1 for a while, because I also have these kind of scattered. I have 6, 12, 13, 14, 15. So it's kind of nice to have this. And I'm going to try to also try to get the ones in between, just like how I'm trying to do it with Bleach, Fairy Tail, and Naruto. I'm going to try to get all of them in due time. Next is Girls in Panzer, which I actually found at the Books A Million bargain, as you can see. Very nice shape for its price. This is Volume 2. I watched the anime, and it was amazing, in my opinion. And then I read the manga. Thought it was pretty lacking, but I still really liked it, so I'm also gonna try to collect this series. Best girl, by the way, she's fantastic. But yeah, not really much else to say about that. Then there is Kieli. This is kind of obscure. I could tell by researching. There's not really much you can find about this, other than this is only a 2-volume series. Not that much, but the second volume is gonna be pretty hard to get, because if I remember, it's kind of is worth a bunch. And apparently, I think it's an adaptation of a light novel, which has many. So I don't think there'd even be a point of me reading this, but I don't know. I saw it at a Goodwill, and I decided to get it. Pretty cheap, but still, I'll read the light novel instead. Then we have Lament of the Lamb. Now this is a much more interesting manga. I also saw this at a Goodwill, and apparently, not really much is known about this either, so it's not really well known. But it's about these two people who are kind of vampiric. Let me guys go ahead and read it to you. Kind of hard to tell. Kazuna Takashiro can't escape the pain of his past. Ever since his mother died, nightmares and visions have been eating away at him. When he finds his long-lost sister Shizuna, the two discover they share more than just a family name. The siblings are cursed with a disease of the blood, a disease that will turn them into vampires. As they resist accepting their destinies, Karuna and Shizuna struggle to contain the craving that is the very essence of what they will become. It's short. It's I think if I remember, looking it up. Like I did it all like 2 months ago. All this searching, but it's 7 volumes. This is volume one. This is 7 volumes, and it's very interesting. I read it, and I am fascinated by this, and I actually cannot wait to get more of these. This is gonna be like my hidden gem, the highlight of my shelf of hidden gem series. It's very good. You guys should look it up. Again, it's called Lament of the Lamb. Next is something that, of course, is pretty well known. Changing topics here. Naruto. We have volume 22, 23, 24, and 34. With that old tag still there. Well, like I said before, I've been trying to slowly fill in the line of trying to fill in all the gaps that I have in my series, because it's kind of inexcusable now. Next is Negima, Magister Magi. If I've said it before, I'll say it again. Not really the most interesting series Kanakamatsu has pulled out. Which I think the best one he ever did was Love Hina, but this is still interesting and it's still worth getting and reading into. So yeah, more gap filling here. Next is this, which I pre-ordered. Took quite a while to get here actually, which kind of annoyed me. Pre-ordered it off of Amazon, volume 14 of One Punch Man. Funny thing is, I'm not even this far yet. I'm like in volume 8 or something, or 9. So I gotta get back to reading if I want to keep getting more One Punch Man. Next is Rave Master Volume 9, which is the hardest thing right now. Like, out of my priority list to get, this is probably the hardest one, because it's nowhere to be found. Even like in online stores, like they jack up the prices of these volumes, which is ridiculous. I understand this is like kind of old. It's from like early 2000, like the 90s and early 2000, which I understand. And plus it's Tokyo Pop, which is even more understandable, you know, those very incompetent manga publishers. But yeah, I actually found this one at a good price here. Can't see it. $3.50 at Second and Charles. There were no more, obviously, but I just gotta find more Rave Master. It's like in my high priority list. Very good. Then we have Shaman King Volume 5, which is a new series on my shelf, just like Girls Who Panzer and the other two that I talked about with the light novel. But Shaman King is a new series as well on my shelf, Volume 5. I remember reading this, and it was $1, by the way. Remember reading this when I was a kid. I used to go to the public library to pick up. I think I made it up to Volume 8 before they didn't have any more, and I kept, like, for weeks on end, I kept checking back with them over and over. But nothing. There were never any updates or anything on whether the library would get any more, and that's when that's actually the story of how I started hating public libraries with their not knowing how to get manga volumes. But then lastly, for the manga at least, I have World War Blue Volume 4 and 5, and as you can see, I got them both for $1. And just like Girls and Panzer, I got this at the bargain section in Books A Million. Very interesting series about, no, well, not that interesting, but still, it's about like console wars, like Sega and Nintendo and stuff like that, but like personified. Kind of interesting, but not really. Not that many, so I'm just gonna get the rest at some point. Then, of course, lastly but not least, is the manhwa Ragnarok based. Um, which there's a game based off of as well. Ragnarok Online got this also 350 at Tekken Charles. Funny thing is, I still haven't actually read the second volume I got last time during the last pickup, so I have to get to work on that. I just don't really see a point of reading something that got axed, because since I know it won't go anywhere. But anyway, that is pretty much what I got. We got a recap, we got Bleach, Dragon Ball, Fairy Tail, Food Wars, new series on my shelf, Gross and Panzer, well these three are, Lament of the Lamb and Kie, then also some Naruto, some Negima, some One Punch Man, some Rave Master, and also Shaman King, new series, and so is World Blue, and of course Ragnarok. That is 25, which, if memory serves right, it is actually the most I've ever gotten, so far. Which, I think is an accomplishment, but, also kind of ran my wallet dry, and I've got to start getting stuff for school, because, like I said, it starts next week. I need to start buying textbooks and supplies, so I think for the next 2 months, I'm probably gonna barely get probably like more than 10, maybe like less than 10, but I'll still make sure to keep you updated on what I'd buy. Anyway, that is all. If you like this dumb nonsense, then you know what to do. Also, follow me on Twitter if you want to, even though I haven't updated like in almost a year. But, and also subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Anyway, that's all I've got to say. Thanks for watching my nonsense, and until next time, see ya.